Everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot in Astrology. I've had several questions from different angles, really good questions from several of you. Wondering, does Trump wind up in a military prison or a medical prison, medical facility, something like that? Like, where does he end up? So, I know I did a reading on him a long time ago with this. I'll have to go back and look. I can't remember what came through, but it's time to do an update. But it'll be interesting to see if some of the cards are the same. Of course, I don't know that I read Kipper very, very well then. Might not even have read it at all. So, and this will be the preferred method. It's going to be Kipper with this one. So anyway, let me bring the camera from overhead over my table. I'll get this going for you. Okay, hold on. Okay, so while I'm shuffling, I thought maybe you guys would like to look at his astrology chart. So I don't use his birth time on his birth certificate because I think he has fudged that. I use 10:12 a.m. rather than the 10:49 a.m. because an astrologer who's almost 90 years old, who is extremely gifted. His name's Alfie Lavoie. He created a software program called AIR, so AIR software, and basically you can rectify a person's birth time based on events in their life. And he's been following Trump for years, and he finally came through with this time, and it has proven to be accurate looking back in the past. So, the only thing it changes, it doesn't change the planetary placements at all. It just changes the ascendant in the hot points, the 4 hot points in his chart, and it does change the house cusps. So you can see that Pluto is in his 6th house of health over here. Saturn has been there for the last 2.5 years, is almost ready to move into his 7th house. He has had health limitations. We have to remember he did catch COVID. Pluto being there is major, it's the planet of death and rebirth. He will end his life with this planet because it takes 11 to 25 years to get through one sign. And so and through one house, you can even imagine. He's not going to make it, I don't think. I mean, he's not going to live that long. You can see Pluto's here. If Pluto were opposite, that would put a person at about, 125 years old. I don't think he's going to make it to 125. And even if he did, it would still keep Pluto in the 6th because he was born with Pluto in the 12th, like a lot of born psychopaths are, especially when you haven't done your work. When Pluto comes through in the 12th, it's my sainted or psychopath. I'm looking like in both. And of course, there's all the degrees in between. But for him, we know he's a born psychopath. But with this chart, so full moon lunar eclipse happening 6:02 a.m. on November 8th, it's going to put it right up here on his midheaven. It's going to put Uranus in the 10th house of career and how he participates with the world. Uranus is the wild card. He has Sun conjunct Uranus, North Node, all of that right here. He hasn't played nice with this planet, so I doubt it's going to be nice to him. This can be a reversal of fortune, and so we've got 10th house here, and then home here. So here's the eclipse line right here, midheaven and the roots. Midheaven, and it's exactly midheaven and home. Like the IC down here, the Imium Coli, is the place where we're sitting in our karma. This is, we're here stewing in something. And then from there is how we participate. So if we don't have a solid foundation that we're sitting in, we cannot create a healthy career, and he hasn't. His career has been as a psychopath. And with Mars in the 1st house in Leo, always needs the attention, always wanting attention, always has something to say. And you can see that he was born during a full moon. See how the moon's here and the sun is exactly opposite. So 22 degrees here, 20. It wasn't a total solar eclipse, but it was, you know, he was along the eclipse line there. So interesting. But anyway, let me keep shuffling. I thought I'd let you guys look at this and see what you think. Taurus, Uranus and Taurus brings in reversals of fortune often. And Mercury, Sun, Scorpio, Venus, could be a crisis there with this opposition. Yeah. So, okay. Other than that, let's go ahead. Oh, yeah. Man, to have that Neptune and Jupiter in the 8th house of other people's resources, that's not good because that's dissolving. Yeah. Alrighty then. Oh, and Mars. This Mars that's right here, that's retrograde. You can't see it because it's what's in red. It doesn't have the little RX next to it. When I do the transits, it pops that out of the chart for some reason. But this Mars is retrograde on the 30th. I'm reading this on the 28th, so Mars will turn retrograde on the 30th, and it's going to stay retrograde. This Mars squaring Neptune, the transit of Mars squaring Neptune, is going to be until December 4th, and he's having that in his 8th house of other people's money and resources, and then 11th house of groups and clans, and, you know, in his case, it's, you know, this is like his group of money laundering psychopaths, Russian oligarchs. And Mars is there, and I doubt they're that happy with him. But Mars on your sun for all these months, because it's going to sit here. Mars is going to be in his 11th house and sitting on his sun north node and affecting even Uranus, which is not good. This is like accident-prone energy, stroke energy, heart attack energy, and that is literally going to be going on for him until March of next year. So there's that. Okay, so, but anyway, to the question from Marcia's great question, will he end up, where's he going to end up? Where's he going to end up? Because I always get the health card for him. Where's he going to end up? And who knows how long it'll take, but where is he going to wind up? Okay. Well, might have to draw another layer over this. Maybe I'm getting the backstory first. That happens all the time. That means I probably should have put the camera way up high and just done a grand tableau, but if I do that, it's hard to see the cards. Unless you throw it up on a big screen. If you're watching on a big screen, that's another whole... Okay, but backstory here, because it can always lay some more cards on top. This is a subpoena. We know he's already been subpoenaed by the J6 committee. And, you know, it's like you don't want this type of news. It's hanging over his ability to, major problems for a long time is how I'm going to read this. But there is, with this, for this courtship, card, this is our card for teamwork and negotiating. So this kind of bothers me. Like, he's going to be able to negotiate. Maybe it's his ability to just delay and delay. It's hard to mess this card up, and the only negative card around this one is this one here. But this does suggest some money problems that go on for a long time. These two cards together here could literally be, you know, I doubt Melania would physically divorce, I mean, you know, legally divorce him, but definitely physically leave. And because this card, this, like, it's usually sad news. In my other deck over here, it's sad news. This card, knighting to the family room, and then over here to the false person, tells me that he's going to feel betrayed, and when it's all said and done, what's coming down is realizing that he's betrayed by his close, intimate circle of friends and family, which would include Melania. And but then this is my card for fraud. This is my card for somebody who's, you know, he's been, on one level, he's been able to evade, you know, the problems for a long time, and just because he has these attorneys that have this strategy in, you know, in the examining process, and they just keep working it to distract and delay, or to delay, basically. It's just delay. It's not deflect and delay anymore. It's delay. But his attorneys are just, they're no good. What was that new saying? MAGA, the new saying with attorneys is make, what is it? Make attorneys get attorneys. Yeah. make attorneys get attorneys. That's what he's creating. Hooking up with the attorneys who are going to need their own attorneys to defend themselves because of what they've gotten themselves into due to defending him. So this card here, connecting here, is like the teamwork. So how it's going to go down is that the teamwork of dirty judges, dirty, anybody who would assist him, actually, is going to be, for quite some time, known that way, and it probably ruin their career. It's probably career ruining. So let's let me keep drawing some cards here. Let's see, there we go. Okay, let's do another layer. This is quite the backstory. I think maybe it's showing the process too. There's a lot of money spent in his teamwork to you know, protect himself legally, but it's not working because it can't work. It can't work with these cards here, but it's going to take some time. I don't think this is anything that's going to be happening soon, because I've gotten in so many other readings, well, not so many other, just my recent one, I've gotten many times that Merrick Garland is going to get him, with no question whatsoever. That came through in meditation loud and clear. Merrick Garland said to me, I am something about, that clown's going down, is what it was. He said to me, don't worry, that clown is going down. And he told me he had the NSA, CIA, FBI, you know, everyone that is worthwhile working for him that way through the DOJ, because he's you know, on top of all of that. And the other thing that came through last week was that it was taking so long because Merrick Garland is working on a huge, like, RICO, you know, conspiracy charge against more than just Donald Trump, and he wants to make sure he gets everyone and no one gets away. So he's been working his way up the food chain. We have to remember it took him, you know, close to 3 years to get Timothy McVeigh, but when he got him, and he couldn't get off. So there's that. Okay, But how is he, what is the final place that he'll be winding up? Okay, so this doesn't have to be money, but it's something that he'll be receiving because he's got it coming. And of course, this is our being tortured with worry and stress card. This is like the Dark Night of the Soul, Nine of Swords in tarot, but it's worse because you don't get out from under it. You know, there's no more hope left. And then here we have the court decree coming down, the paperwork coming down. That does lock him up. Wow. Something new comes out. And he is obsessing over it. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. That's the direction he's going. With the courthouse card, it's definitely charges being pressed. It's going through like a grand jury trial type of a thing. And they make some really important, what's the word, like discoveries where they can hand over, you know, the paper because they have the documents. So I'm thinking that this has to do with the search and seizure that came into Mar-a-Lago. Right? This would be Mar-a-Lago. So maybe they're going to go in again, or maybe it'll be Bedminster or some other resort where he's hidden some more documents, or they get, you know, they find those. Yeah, and then jackpot, they get what they want. Because he's the one that stole them from the get-go. Now that's a change card. So change to where? Okay, so there's definitely charges pressed that get him locked up. But I don't have, I don't have the, I mean, it's a painful ending for him and everyone involved. Oh, this could be a military type prison. Oh, yeah. Now this is a person's reputation, but it's also a tall, tall building. And it's also a card for an experience that a person goes through. You know, it's like public recognition coming through here. Wow. But it's not just him, it's other people he's been in bed with and he's been successful with. And so the cards are reiterating the same thing I got last week, and I can't remember if it was his weekly reading or what I was reading on. But I do remember getting clearly that it's that big web of people that that Merrick Garland is going after. So I don't have I don't have that many cards left, but I didn't get the health card to show that it would be like a medical institution. But I could be wrong. For all we know, it could be that there's a medical type of ward within a military prison. And that's the reason I'm not getting this one first, right? So, Marcia, honey, I would say to trust your guidance. If you keep getting a reoccurring vision for him, I would trust that. Because, yeah. But I do think that he's going to have health issues as well, because we do know that he's been demented for years, and probably full-blown Alzheimer's, is coming in, because his dad had it. It runs in his family. And we can hear that when we listen to him. He's not there. He's not fully there. And he hasn't been for quite some time. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this up, and And I think the important takeaways here is that, you know, he's got a painful ending, and this does look to me like some court grand jury trial that if he's not locked up, he's definitely restricted somehow. But you put these two together, and it's a military prison, but he's not alone. There's other people involved, and they're getting the whole, you know, they're getting everyone who's involved. Wow. So I think we're going to have to be really patient, because remember this card here. Often this is our card for 2 or more years, right? And what takes 2 or more years are the cards that are behind. And so this is the reason why. The reason why it could take that much time. Here, let's go with the bottom baseline spread. Is that it? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. The reason that it could take that much time is because of the people in his immediate family and other people that he's been connected to in bed with. This is a partnership card. Doesn't have to be marriage. Partnership card. But then again, I've always felt that Melania was probably one of his handlers, just like, you know, Ivana was when she was back in the day. And they have to just keep working on it, because they want to get everyone involved. They want to get all the cheaters involved. And that's the big examination. Yeah. Wow. So in hindsight, after having that layer of all these other cards, now this one is making more sense as the baseline. Because this would be subpoenas that keep coming out on all these different people, and they keep working on it. And they've got I didn't see this before. They have a huge treasure trove of people who've been opportunistically, you know, just sucking the whole. This is like the money laundering team, money laundering team that he's been involved with for quite some time. That is what this could be. Merrick Garland's strategy that he's working through, because these cards touch down here to get the cheaters, to get all the cheaters. And the strategy is all that work that is taking so much time, because he wants to get everyone he's been in bed with. It's Trump might not be the biggest fish. Okay? Okay. All right, sending you big hugs again. Take good care, you guys. Hope you're headed towards a really good weekend. Bye. And happy Halloween, too. Okay.